live.
We are live? I don't know that I'm lived.
God bless the American English, actually even UK English, English language. It's all spelled the same, but you can say it so many different ways.
It's true.
Um,
But at least the table doesn't have a gender.
the table
Okay,
is
so I tried to learn French and Spanish,
okay.
and tables and objects have genders.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah,
that messed with my mind. I'm just saying,
sure,
completely messed with my mind. Do you know
gotcha.
what I didn't do today?
No,
I did not check our speak pipe. So I'm hoping
all
that
right.
Devo's site did not bless us.
Well, you can if you go look at that. I can also look at it in a minute. But I'm gonna play an intro song here.
Okay, you do that.
Are you tired of being awesome alone? Well, so are we. So tonight we have no expectations. We're gonna breathe and be awesome together. Oh yeah, Tyra. Yeah.
Charles.
I don't know how many people in the world are riding the same kind of train we're riding, but this is the old steam engine train where we're just kind of running on low pressure right now, but we'll make it up the mountain. Uh,
Can I go back to vacation?
right. Oh my. I haven't hit vacation. I get a day off every like 20, it feels like. And by day off means I don't do any having to get up to leave the house for any reason. Like later in the afternoon, fine, but you don't have to wake up for it. And I don't do any kind of work, like no media, no phone calls. I
Oh,
just sit
that's
down
nice.
and either hang out with the family and or preferably a mixture of playing, my video games for a few hours. And I probably do get that once every 20 days or so. And I was even thinking today,
Oh,
I picked up an extra thing yesterday, so it was good money. Today I got caught up on a bunch of social media stuff, which we'll talk about a little
awesome.
bit, and how to manage life when the show must go on. And
Yes.
but it was a long work day. And then tomorrow I'm going to do some work, and then Thursday I'm gonna get up and do a little bit of work. But maybe the rest of the day I'll be okay. Who knows?
You've
Saturday,
got you've got you've
yeah.
got that wise and nerdy thing Thursday night.
Thursday nights I do have Wise and Nerdy. Friday I'm back working. Saturday I'm getting up to go do some estate sale days. It's like, yeah, there's every once in a while I'll grab a day. It's like I would love a staycation where honestly guilt free somehow. I don't know how to be guilt free, but somehow guilt free for me just to go away for a weekend, or maybe the family goes away for a weekend. I just sit here for 24 to 48 hours and just music and video games, and
Order
that's
pizza,
yeah.
just.
And hello, Earth Station. Boo.
Boo! She did something new the other day that I can't wait to join her on. She did a work together thing, which I thought was really cool on
What's that?
Twitch. It's when
Just hang out and both of you work on your
you
own
just hang
things?
out and work. We've talked about it. We've done
We've
it
thought,
before
yeah,
too.
I actually never thought about just putting it out on Twitch.
And
So
just
she
put
did
it on
that, huh?
Twitch and yeah. She dropped a thing into our Discord.
Good for you.
I know, to our digital, not the Digital Media Tracks Discord. We have a Discord too. You should join it. It's lovely. Please, we're cute.
Let me see if I can
Oh,
find
the
where it's
dogs were part.
located.
We won't talk to you about what happens in this household when I go live.
Oh, yeah, no, she won't. I'll tell you, it sends a signal to every cat brain to chew every cable and rip out the copper wire in the house or something.
She hasn't yet. I've
Yeah.
got a candle burning
Okay.
to kind of calm down for my day. I've got my drink
Nice.
to remind me of our drive-by visit. And I can still look in my den and see the Christmas tree.
So that brings up shelf watch.
Shabbat. I haven't done Jack. Um, we got back from vacation and I was exhausted. And then they wanted me
Yeah.
to go to meetings, Charles.
I know.
Like
That
I
week
still
off you
had a
thought you were going to
week.
have was a meetings week.
I still had a week. And they wanted me to and 3-hour meetings.
That's my kind of psychotherapy
I
in
know.
a couple hours.
And I'm looking at the schedule for this year, and one of my department's meetings are on Fridays for 2
Mm.
hours.
Like mid
And
afternoon, so like you have to plan your day around it, right?
right, well, and the bigger problem is I'm at a conference, I'm at conventions, I'm at London. I I've I'm not in town on I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's not good. Anyway, so that's my so there is no shelf. We keep praying, but prayers don't work. I
Well,
have to clean.
that's the first step of entering the matrix to understand there's no spoon, and the second step is there's no shelf. I believe is how that goes.
I mean, I'm gonna have to record class videos with this as my background.
I mean, it is a fine background, but I know you're ready to be back
I'm
in
ready
your
to be back in
office.
my office. So,
Uh, Earth
but so
Station.
that's where
Yeah.
we are. Do you want to tell them what Earth Station Boo said?
She gave the description body doubling her co-work stream, the space where we hang out live while getting things done together. She uses 45-minute focus sessions and then 15-minute breaks, and that's pretty cool. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to keep an eye out to set an alert something, however that works. Because TikTok keeps going. Do you want to be alerted when people message you? No, no, I don't. I'll get on TikTok when I want to get on it because that is my social media. So I do not want alerts on that one. The other ones that I don't get on, sure, alerts. But yeah, I think that'd be really, really
I
cool.
love that, and I just reread my book, what I've written so far, and I've figured my way out of the corner I wrote myself into, and I really would love some co-work stuff so I could sit there and write because I'm super
Yeah,
excited about it, and that's what I plan on doing in London on a few days is holding up in a coffee shop and writing.
that's really cool. My shelf watch, which for those of you who are new to the show, this metaphorical shelf in your life, it started with and still continues with a real life shelf at Tyra's office of how she just wanted it covered. Now it's somehow devolved into moving back into that office after being kicked out by the shelf gnomes. I don't know how that worked.
It
Um,
was, yeah,
yeah, it's a long story,
it
but
is.
it's also it's a moment of as creators. Sometimes you got to get the personal stuff talked about, and it can be what's heavy on the shelf, what's light, what's fun, what's bad, those kind of things. And more times than not, honestly, happily, it's more positive
Yeah.
things. I am actually making progress getting some music stuff set up. I'm finally
Woohoo.
trying, and I talked to my wife about this. I'm getting past, and as creators, maybe we all have this. I don't know. I'm getting past my putting it off phase of buying things. Right, I put.
Oh,
I'm talking about little things. I'm looking over at a computer stand, a little laptop folding stand that I got, so I could put my MIDI keyboard on the desk and have my laptop still up above it, so I could see it
right.
and because I always wanted it to be on this computer right here, so wherever I am, it's portable and I can work on stuff. If I want to be in the house today, I can do that instead of having to come out here, that kind of thing. Um, and so yeah, I've within reason started doing that. Like I actually bought the MIDI keyboard and I actually bought the little stand and I've been doing. There's this little. It still wants you to subscribe. So there's this really good um, tutorial program that comes with the keyboard. It's made by somebody else, and I
Ah.
can look it up later. Actually, it's right here. Melodics is the app. Melodics,
Ooh.
and it defaults to. It is for computers. It doesn't work as like an app on your phone, to my knowledge. I believe it's only PC or Mac, and you have to subscribe. But I got some kind of special code that gives me a certain amount of it for free, and that is 5 minutes a day per instrument. So on the keyboard, there's keys, so there's
Ah.
lessons for that, and it absolutely you follow along with the time, and it's getting you some fingering positions and basics. And then there's lessons separately for the beat pads. And then Tyra, I
Uh-oh.
excitedly discovered this
Oh
week
no.
that is like it said drums. I'm like, well, you can only do 5 minutes of training, and it's not real world 5 minutes. They actually do in lesson completion time. So if
Okay.
you open it and leave it open, it's not counting you down, which
Okay.
I appreciate it. Cool. I get why you limit. You still want a little bit of a subscription to get some of the cool stuff. Fine, I get you, but I appreciate it. Um, and the other day I was like, well, I've done my 5 minutes on the other two things. Let me see what drums is, assuming that's tied to this keyboard because the program came for the keyboard. And it's like computer keys. I'm like, well, I'll figure this out. I'm like, huh, I have an electric drum set that has the same port as my MIDI keyboard.
Oh,
And so I did. I plugged it into the drum kit and turned it on. And because you have to do this calibration on anything you plug in. And immediately it picked it up when I touched. So
yay.
I could help have my daughter start taking basic drum lessons through the same app on here. So that's going to be fun. So that's where I felt pretty good about making a little bit of progress here and there, learning how to connect it. There's some hoops to jump through for sure to do what I want to do on my computer. So getting it all connected and now I've got it all connected as of today, all the
Oh,
ins and outs. So now I have to start figuring out inspiration. So I'm going to look at videos on, okay, how do I find kind of the sound I'm looking for and build the layers and all this other stuff. So it's been
well,
going. And go ahead.
yes, no, go on. Go
I
on.
applied for Multiverse today.
Did you? I got to do that. I'll probably do that tonight when I get done.
I just submitted on the Learn track again since that's the one they accepted last year. And I think if you want to do it, we can do a Learn. Actually, you can
Mm-hmm.
join me on the Learn for the podcast one, depending on when they schedule it. Because I didn't think about, honestly, I did not think about that when I put it in for the podcasting digital media 101. Because it says upload in a single file, but I can email Kenneth, I believe is who runs that. I can email him and say, hey, I missed this step. Can you add, Tyra Burton
Oh, that would be
to
lovely.
it? Yeah.
I'll go ahead and apply. I got to decide if I'm going to try to present another paper this year. I did one on Star Wars marketing last year. Um, so I probably will try to do something because I can academically count it then, which is all of a sudden. By the way, for those of you who don't know, we have no topic tonight. So hello, this is chaos. We're
And
just talking about whatever we want to talk about. So if you have anything you want us to talk about, please let us know.
absolutely send your questions in. I was kind of thinking about the concept of the show must go on.
Oh yes,
Because we,
that's
we
right.
get here and we're like,
You did talk about that.
we,
Yeah.
we gotta go, and it's still not a hardcore expectation thing, but it is okay. So out of my life, I have a little. When I say little, it's little. It's a side gig that I don't get paid for right now because the little bit I get paid for, I pretty much give to the person who's setting it up because she needed it more, and I was starting to
Aw.
get other flows of income, and she wasn't. So I was like, I mean, we're talking $100 a month. I'd make
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
150 on this, and I'm like, hey, that little bit helps you more than me right now because I think together she and I will go to bigger places as far as marketing
Right.
and those kind of things. Not marketing. Man, we're trying to build
Stuff.
access to because she's in the boomer range and younger, very very young end of it, older end of Gen X, if you will, but that's her marketplace and she wants to start giving voice to her. She lost her husband last year, so she really wants to
That's
help widows out and widowers without predatory crap that goes on and so on and so forth. So that's where we're going. Is she's got some really good ideas. So I was like, hey, let me help you stay afloat. You get there, but things went a little nuts during the holidays, and
as they do.
it's so spread out as far as like it record. Most of the people actually only record one set of people a month. The other two clients just send in their stuff, and we post it. And I thought I'd gotten recording them, but I thought I'd gotten the everything posted from November. So it's supposed to be posted in December. It was not.
Oh.
And fortunately, I
Hmm.
did it on Zoom that time because if I had done it on Talk Studio, they would have been deleted by now. And usually I'm pretty good every month going in. Let's see what I haven't got yet and downloading it
And
just in case
downloading.
I need it. Yeah, because I know it expires. But I don't know if I did it in December or if it. Anyway, I'm behind.
Uh
And so
oh.
I spent most of my day today catching up and making apologies and saying thank you only when I need to. So some of them it's like, hey, thank you for your patience, and I want to go and
You're
as creators,
doing
you got to
it
know your worth.
right.
And I didn't go sell this, but at the same time, it's being sold to people who really wouldn't pay more than $100 a month for what they're getting. But even my bare minimum is higher than what they're paying for. There, I know. I just automatically somehow got a thumbs up from the ghosts behind me, so that's cool. Uh, but they're everybody's good people and everybody's decent to work with, and there were a few little mishaps that happened in December, but it was like, well, I was prepared. And for one moment, it's like I can't find this audio from November, and I'm
Oh,
okay with just apologizing and saying it's all I can do, but I'll give you the $100 for that month.
right.
Um, because I know content is better and this and that and other, but it fortunately that's the other thing. As a career, you asked me last week, like my game plan and how to do things, and I talked about it's like a cooking, cooking queen or whatever that was, mixed with the Sea of Galilee, and I just go. But my karma, my chaos, my whatever works that way because if for some reason on this one time we normally record here on Talk Studio, and they like
Right.
it, they like everything I've set up for them, they like how it works, they like all of it
That's good.
whatever reason in November, as we came up on the day before Thanksgiving to record, which is fine by me. I mean, it was whatever. It just gets a little hectic. I sent them a Zoom link. Well, because I recorded on my computer, that stuff never disappears.
Right.
And this was the one time in all of it that I did that Zoom link. And then here I am searching for the video and stuff, and there it was. And for some odd reason, when I put the video track into my editor, it only had my audio, which is obviously not the important one. I'm the guy going, okay, you guys ready? Three, two, one, and it's them, right? But then Zoom had an audio track that was all of it. I'm like, why is my
Yay.
audio on the video with the video? Yeah, so and then I had to sync it up. It was out of sync, but it worked, people. It worked, and I understand that is so chaotic to most people. And no, you cannot rely on that, and I
No.
don't. But it is a very awesome safety net that because I've worked hard. Maybe we talk about that, Tyra. Putting the
Mhm.
work in lets the natural forces flow of
Oh, 100%.
creativity when needed. And to me, that's a very nice safety. It's happened more than I'd like to admit. Not admit, more than I'd like to count, I guess. But not a ton of times. I consider myself a professional. I work very hard to be a professional.
But shit happens.
But shit happens, and every time it's happened, it's been like, oh, look, karma's got it. It's right here. I just had to be calm, think about where I could look. Here it is. Spent the hour and a half or whatever it took to cut it all up, and because I had to first edit the things because I had to set them
Right.
up. Then I had to go re-edit it for the show, and it's all good.
But it
Um,
worked. And you
yeah.
got it done. And good job, Charles.
Well, thank you. And then I went and programmed. I've used that Meta Business Suite and scheduled a post for Friday
I'm
for
so
Real Life
proud.
Home, and it was easy enough. And that's the thing. If there's one self-indulgent promo I could do for Be Awesome Together, is just listen to all of them, download them because Tyra's talked about the Meta Business Suite. I could not tell you how many times because we've done a couple panels together and all this other things.
I have a little love fest with it.
Yeah, but you're not like super obsessed with it. It's not like your go-to and you're like, oh, let me jump on.
Oh
Makes
yeah,
me
no,
want to
no.
jump on board. Every time you talk about it, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm glad I have you because you can put that in the Meta Suite. Um, but because you had said enough positive about it, I'm like, you know what? Let me take 3 seconds and go look at it.
Let
And
me
that's all I was
try
willing to
it.
give was 30 seconds on it. But there it was. It worked exactly like Tyra said.
Yay.
Yeah, and so yeah, you never know when
No,
what we
because
say will come back in your memory and go, oh yeah, let me try
oh
that.
yeah. No, it's true. I really like after we had our bat last week. And by the way, we call Be Awesome Together Bat. We should probably have a bat hidden in the logo someplace for shits and giggles. I will work on that.
A
But
flying one with a wooden one.
woohoo, a flying one
A
with
flying bat with a wooden bat.
oh, a bat.
Yes.
Charles, you made
Right.
a sports reference.
I played. I know. I mock it all the time, sports ball, because I'm not a fan. But I have played sports, and I used wooden baseball bats and wooden bats for softball and baseball and all that back in my
Heck,
day.
back in my day.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually did a lot of thinking about putting together a system, and I actually, hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have it where I'm going to be selling it probably, where I really started to think about how do I find inspiration? How do I, find that guiding ship,
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that for me was really important for this
Yeah.
year. And so I finally have developed a system. I sat down a day or two after last week's bat, and I really sat down and honed, okay, how do I go about doing this? How do I go about trying to focus my year? And I haven't gotten down to the day to day stuff yet, the nitty gritty, which I'm going to have to start doing. But I really feel good about what I want to do. And
Good.
it felt good to read my book again, to see where I'm at. I got to find some files. You know, I have the same thing as you. I got some files because I know there's a scene I wrote. Can't find it, but I know
Yeah,
me.
it's
I
there.
back everything up 6 ways to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's here. I just have to find it, or it's on my scribe. But but I'm excited. So that's the biggest goal of this week is to A, get Christmas down, and B, start writing again.
And there's an energy that you need for that.
Yeah.
And I have found myself running out of energy a lot, like instantly. So yesterday I came home about dinner time, and I looked at my calendar, and of course we had Be Awesome together tonight. And like, oh yeah, I need to talk to Tyra in the morning. And then 10 minutes later, it's like I could sleep until 10:30, 11, which I could because I didn't have anything till like 1 in the afternoon. And had I
See?
gotten up and just got my coffee and went, hey Tyra, what's up? We probably would have connected. But it's
Maybe.
just like a hey, I don't have anything till 1 because I didn't put us talking on the calendar, and then it fell out of my mind. I saw a TikTok today where someone said, "Hey, this is for everybody over 40. What's the biggest lie you tell yourself that you don't mean to?" I'll go first. I'll remember, and then the end of TikTok. That's it. You know,
Yeah, no, no.
yeah. Um,
100%. And it gets worse, Charles.
it is why we make notes. But it's also an energy like not that I don't like doing this. Obviously, I like doing this, and obviously, I like working with you. But you're also very busy. Maybe that's subtly in my mind. It's been like, man, when you and I are talking, we're busy, which is a
Yeah.
good thing because we're pushing towards that edge of being out of the day jobs, more or less, out of the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the day job necessarily, but the dedication to somebody else's schedule. We are working towards being who we are in a world that we get to control our schedules and our lives and flow
Yeah.
better. Um, and I think about the talks that we had with Mark Gunn and Bob Magoo about what we want to do this year. It's like cool. That's going to take energy. And I was thinking tonight, it's like not that I'm tired for the show. It's like I'm kind of out of energy. I'm like saturated up to my eyeballs right now. And not that I'm overloaded. It's like
Oh no, you're
you know what I'm
overloaded.
saying. Well,
Let me
okay,
let,
that's what
let
my
me let me
therapist says
just bring you
too.
to
But
reality, Charles. You're a little overloaded
you can't
because
overload a colossus. Come on.
well, and I was thinking, I actually thought about this as a topic on the way home that when the side hustles become the real hustles, and now
Yeah.
you're hustling like a madman on a treadmill that has gone out of control, and you're just like running, trying to keep all the things while two plates are in the air, and
Yeah.
it's a lot because I mean you're juggling not only like the stuff that you were doing with your friend, but you've got some consulting gigs, you've got some ambulance gigs, you got other things you do, and that's a lot. I mean, somebody once said to me that, and I did not believe her, and I still refuse to, that she said that when they forced her to work from 9 to 5, she went from faculty to administrative. When she was forced into that 9 to 5, she found she got more done because she
I
had to schedule
guess
her time.
right. There's a certain
Not
mindset.
necessarily the 9 to 5 part,
Well,
but the schedule part.
yeah, and it is the schedule part, and that's where I'm kind of stuck in limbo, as me personally, where
Hmm.
for a little while last year, and this is where we were building this show up and other things that I'm doing, other things that she and I are doing, is like okay, I had the freedom to flow around other people's schedules, and I'd pick up this here or that there or this or that and move something every once in a while. Now it's become a little more fortunate, a little more regular for the income,
Which
which
is good.
I'm not getting tired of income. I'm getting tired of the way of it. So we actually had some meetings today about building up our ambulance academy like we've been trying to do. And I took a key from you too, Tyra,
Ooh, ooh.
back in I don't know October. I think is when we recorded the professional videos, and there was like 4 or 5 quick, like less than 10-minute topics that we taught on. that were basically scripted. It was all this cool stuff. We can go into that later. And then I took them once we got them. Anthony and I got together and we started working on a release schedule, and then cut them out using Opus clips into bunches of little clips, and we're seeing
Right.
what worked. I was able to schedule something twice a week from whenever that was in like late October all the way to the first of the year, like to last week. And so it
Nice.
really helped wake that channel back up because it's
Mhm.
regularly posting and this and that and other. But we're out of content. And we already
Uh-oh.
talked about doing lives. We're going to do a live next Tuesday and then record. We're going to record for an hour, hour and a half, whatever, which will then give us a couple of episodes to cut out of there and then a bunch of clips to feed in. So we can do it like once a month or whatever and keep it going. But it was good. It's like, yeah, we kind of both made jokes about how they keep me running 2 days a week because I'm helping build that part of their business, which is good for all of us. But
Right.
at the same time, all of us don't want to do. I mean, they do want to run the companies, they want to run, but at some point they are looking to sell it and get out. Me, I'm like, yeah, I did my time on the truck. I'm doing it now
Yeah.
because it still fits my life. As in, I get to control my schedule. I get to say yes or no. And it's doing something I love, which is helping build. And as I'm helping build, as we all know, I'm out there learning new things. Um, but yeah, it's lack of schedule because I was able
Yeah.
to go, hey, Tyra and I talk every Tuesday morning,
It's
schedule.
awesome.
One Friday a month, I meet with Josh and we do a little brown pill schedule, and it's the scheduling of it. Cause even, I remember Stephen King used to sit down and say, or talk about how he'd sit down like 10 in the morning with his coffee and he wouldn't get up till he wrote like 1,000 words or some, I'm
Right.
misappropriating the story, but it's
But
something along
he
those
he
lines.
sat down and he wrote. Button
Right.
chair.
And most, people who do things for a living. And what was one? Oh yeah, like comedians. I've been listening to a lot of comedians not do comedy, which I still listen to, but tell the stories of what they do, and it's all about like I was just hearing an old one with Chelsea Handler. How she had to go and build her material, and then she goes and tries it out at somewhere, and then refines it, and then this, and then she builds a tour around it.
Yep.
And like, oh yeah, you don't think you. I see a clip on TikTok that person's on stage and it's funny, but
But you
some of
don't
it
think
is off
about
the cuff, but some of it's
right.
not. A lot of it's not.
A lot of it's not. And that's
Yeah.
what's shocking when you like there oh I can't remember her name. I feel horrible. But there was a comedian from oh my god, Jean. I'll think of it later. Jean is her Jean
Wilder?
Roberts.
Oh no, sorry. You said
She
she.
older
Yeah,
older
sorry.
lady. She just passed away a few years ago. But she actually wrote a book on how she refines her stories and the process. And I was mesmerized because I did not know that there was so much that went on behind what a comedian does and what a speaker does. Like I do a lot of speaking, I do a lot of teaching, but I never thought about what a professional speaker comedian does
Sure.
to hone those stories. And yeah, it's amazing the time that goes behind that you don't see. And so why are we shocked that there's time that goes behind what we do that we
Right.
don't see?
Right. And that's part of that theory that the show must go on. Right. It's
Yeah.
well, you part of it is you. This is going to happen. So we got to figure it out one way or another, and that's definitely helped Tyra and I throughout this last couple of months of running into the holidays, and everything. I was like, hey, we may not have met, we may not have planned, but the show will go on tonight because we have
Yeah.
said we're doing it every week at this time.
And we knew what we were going to talk about when we came back. I think that was important that
That helped.
we
Yeah.
had started the next chapter. Uh, yes, Mike does say that. Mike Faber, he's of the ESO network, always tells people who want to do podcasts that it is a lot of work, and it is. So much goes
Yeah.
on behind the scenes,
See, I
and
am the worst to teach that part of it. Like I don't. I would tell you if you were to ask me, is it hard work being a podcaster? I go no. I
and
really have to
I
go turn on a microphone and I talk about things, but I don't think about the hours that I put in spending a day building the website and make sure every time I launch a new show, y'all. I don't think about that. It just is what I do, right? And so as I'm teaching it, then the textbook becomes from a pamphlet to oh my
yeah,
god, that's a textbook. But yeah, I mean Mike's right. It's a lot of work, but when you say I'm overloaded, it's like you're probably right. I'm sure you're right. My therapist going to say the same thing. But um, it's like I
Yes.
don't see it. I just do, right? I
But you
just do
feel
things.
it.
But I do feel it to point. And I even mentioned to you, and we're talking about making a
Hmm.
change to this show,
Yeah,
because we're always as creators. One, we're gonna be transparent. That's what this show is all about. Two,
absolutely.
it's a modeling show, as in I'm gonna work it, girl. No, as in we're going to show you the behavior of how things work. And sometimes you have to adjust the flow. And we are talking about going to maybe 2 times a month instead of the weekly things, and seeing where it lands, seeing how it happens. Um,
Absolutely. So Booth said something really important. What one person thinks is work and what someone else doesn't is different as well.
True.
And that is 100%
Yeah.
true. Like Charles could edit in his sleep. It makes me want
Yeah.
to cry.
Yeah.
It just does. Um, Crap, I had something. Oh, so the other thing that happens is so both of us have schedules that are flexible, but my teaching schedule changes every semester. I've been pretty consistent, and then I started with the honors program, and that kind of shook things up. Now, Charles, even if you were awake this morning, I had to leave the house by 10 o'clock in the
I
morning.
didn't get up till like 10:30. Yeah.
You see, and I had a class at 11, and that's completely different. I'm going in between campuses on the same day on Tuesdays. So when he was like, I was thinking maybe twice a month, I was like, that sounds like that might be a great spring semester thing. Maybe
Yeah.
once we hit summer and it's convention time, we'll slide back into a little bit more often. But yeah, and I just like all of a sudden I was like, oh crap. And I got a Discord DM from Sarah from the Hissin and Kissin crew because she wants to help with social. I was like, oh yeah, it's January. We need to kick that back up again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was well timed, well played. Also, just got a message from my husband. Shockingly, he did not come back home after his 7 o'clock client meeting. He is now
At the
his
bar.
at the bar. But the
Yeah.
people from London are in town, so he's there talking with them.
Hey, no shame in it.
No,
Go
no
for it.
shame in it. Get all
Um,
the good deeds because we're gonna be in London sometime soon. So I'm excited.
um, it's fun, and Cos mentioned to us, that she calls it chopping tomatoes. That's that kind of work. You just chop it. It's just something you do without. I presume she means it's something you do without really focusing and thinking too much about it. You're just
Yeah, you
doing
just
the
do it.
prep. Um,
And
I was
everybody's tomatoes are different.
Yeah, and everybody's brain is different, and so as a creator, and I will keep coming back to these points so that Chat GPT will run through this will help pull out the actionable points because that's part of my heart for the show and Tyra too is like we don't want to just be a hear her voice own voice show.
No.
I do all my other shows to hear my own voice. This one I want to change how you do hear your voice, um, and so actionable items. Anyway, we don't. I don't. I learn things and I can do things. I can identify where I could do better, but like social media. There behind the scenes, I've launched the panel submission form in the Dragon Con Digital Media Discord, and I did the things. I made it work, blah blah blah, as I do. Make sure to set the permissions correctly, so I didn't get a billion invite. Let me have it this year's whatever. And Google's updated, made it a little bit easier to do all that. And so I put the link in Discord, which is just a link, and went, hey, everybody, the session is now open. Start submitting. And immediately I went to do what I normally do, which is just slap it on the digital media stuff for Dragon Con. Hey, basically same post. Hey, submissions are open for the track. Bam, done. And I heard Tyra, because it's her specialty, like, just give it to me and give me 5 minutes and I'll make it attractive and make it work and it'll be great. And so I just emailed her and said, yeah, I heard your voice in my head saying this. So here's this guy. I'm going to slap it on. And if you want me to slap it on, I'm happy to.
You,
And
we need to do something for TikTok. I'll decide if I'm going to get
sure.
behind a camera or not, or
Well,
you are.
no, we'll figure it out easy enough. But that is the thing. It's like know your strengths and weaknesses. Flip side of that story is my partner and what we were talking about earlier. We serve network WSN TV, and we're
Okay.
trying to do stuff that reaches audiences that don't necessarily get reached out to in digital media, especially like the 55 and older communities, widows, those
Um,
kind of things.
excuse me. as a 57-year-old, bite your tongue and say 60.
67. How about that? I know
Sounds lovely.
65 medically senior citizens, but AARP, which has been one of the things we've kind of been working around to get concepts, is I think they start reaching out at 55.
No, no, 49 and a half. You can join
Oh, really? They
AARP.
start? Okay.
I know that because guess who did?
Hey,
This
I hear
chick.
you. I hear you.
Discounts. They have great discounts, including on our favorite hotel in New Orleans. Thank you.
But she was asking me because part of it is we have a Roku channel, and I'm just gonna say this because she goes, "Man, Roku is sexy." I'm like, "No, it's not.
It's
Not to my
not.
generation and younger. It's not." But I get where you're sitting in the market you're trying to reach, why you think that. So I'm not going to pop that bubble. We're going to work all the angles. Um,
I also think it's because there's a certain set of non tech people
mm-hmm.
that are that like Roku.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
think
it's
I think it
easy.
connects to that.
I think it's
You
great.
can actually join at 18.
Apparently. Uh,
They told me to wait till 49 and a half. So they may have changed.
And I will tell you right now, if you'd like to pay me, I can build you a Roku channel. I spent is the longest I've ever
Oh
spent
no.
fighting with something to learn. You
I
remember those
remembered.
stories?
It was
Yeah,
people, it was not pretty.
it was very hard, but it's one of those things that I wasn't letting go. I was a gator. I locked in on it and wouldn't
Oh
open
yeah,
even
no,
my mouth.
you were
And I was death spiraling with that
you were
thing,
like
death rolling. Yeah, and I
he was gonna
got it.
beat it into submission.
And I just about did. Fortunately, I didn't have to break anything physically or metaphorically, but I did get, and I got it now, and I like it. And I've been thinking about putting up like a RGOP 42 channel, um, but then I went down the stupid rabbit hole of trying to change the name like the Rock God Universe or this and that. I was like, no, let me just stick to my branding. I just haven't done it, but it'd be just a channel that like my dad wanted to. He could pull it up and see all my convention videos, all my anythings, whatever,
Aw.
right? Because there's a set of people that's just easy to say, hey, put this channel on your Roku device, your smart TV, and then you can watch whatever. Anyway, um, it's a process, and I just do it now. It's once I learn it, just do.
Now
But my
he's
partner,
jamming. He's
yeah,
jamming.
my partner who's great at building communities, and she is amazing at connecting people and getting people excited about stuff. I mean, she was the founder and runner of the Miata fan club back in whenever that was, that late 80s, early 90s, and all that, and everything was magazines, and she was great at that. Uh, she's like, hey, if you could show me the process, because she can repeat processes, she can learn. If you can show me the process, you know, I'll help you do that. Take that off your hands so we don't get behind. Like, yeah, absolutely. I'm open to all help. And I forget she doesn't use a computer. She likes her iPad and phone. Well, I don't think this is going to work. You have to have a computer. But I shared the screen. And I mean, not to her intelligence, because she's very smart, she kept getting lost. And
Oh,
I didn't realize how, because once you've gone through the maze, it's pattern
you know
recognition
them.
now. Now I've got, it's like, okay, you got to go to this tab, you got to download this, you got to go to this tab, you got to do this. So whoa, what? And I showed her, and as I'm showing and teaching, I'm like, oh my god, this is a lot. This is a lot of stuff, but I could do it in 5 freaking minutes now.
Right.
Other than the
Now you
upload
know.
time, because I know it, that I just know it. It's just there now. It's like I've learned to spell Leviosa or whatever, and now we've got,
I'm so
Leviosa.
proud. Oh my gosh. What just happened here? Charles
I
did a
don't
pop
know.
culture reference that wasn't anime or games. What are we going to do? Okay, that's the show. No.
um, so yeah,
But
it's everybody
I
has their
think
strengths and weaknesses, right?
well, and I think that's so true. Like sometimes my husband will like assumes I have knowledge that I don't. Because my husband is very crafty and very he builds stuff. And he'll think that I know something and I'm looking at him like, I know you think I should know that, and I know you think normal people know that, but normal people don't know that.
Oh, okay. Now you've kicked off a little side story of
Oh,
soapbox. I get
it's
so
this
mad at
part. Oh,
parents.
wait a minute. Hello, everybody on Be Awesome Together. We have arrived at the Charles Soap soapbox time. Here's your soapbox. Please rise, though you do not need to be any taller, but get on the soapbox and tell us about it. Charles, come on, we're here. We're
All
ready.
right.
Let's start this therapy session.
Listen, everybody, I am so tired of parents making fun of their kid for not knowing something. It's like, what's this? And hand them a cassette. Why would they know that? They have no reason to know anything until we teach them. Because as humans, I get mad at also people with the damages. I don't get mad. I get mad for them, not at them. About them going, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't know that. It's like, why would you know that? Like EMT school. I'm literally here to teach you this. You don't have a reason to know this until you have a reason to know it. There you go. Now I'll get off my soapbox.
Okay, you can become shorter again. Step off the box. Box will go in the corner. I'm sure I will need at some point, but we never
Yeah.
know. My big thing, like, okay, let's break out the soapbox for Tyra. My biggest thing is don't yuck other people's yum. Like, don't call something dumb just because you don't get it. So, like, we have some former friends that made fun about sports ball, and I'm like, I get it. We're a bunch of geeks. I understand that. But there are people who geek out just as strongly about baseball stats and other things.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, we're all a little weird. And just because, as long as it's legal, and I would like to stress that, I don't care. And I might get interested in it. Knew that I would understand about salary caps in football and be excited for the draft and which coaches are going which place? And thank God Aaron Rodgers has retired. Okay,
Um, okay.
because his
That's a
last
soapbox.
his last throw, a pick six.
Yeah, I saw some
Karma.
clips of things. Um,
Karma is a
that's
cat sitting on my lap.
you know, and I get that. And there's balance to everything because you can say some of the meanest things as long as that people know it's in jest and that you really would never actually mean that. Like I've said some sports jokes around Tyra that she's like, but she laughs because she knows I'm
Right.
I'm
Like I
just
know
getting
your
a little
joke.
rise out of her. I don't really mean I don't get sports are so stupid. I
Oh,
do
we.
think it's a bit much for somebody in their living room to put on the full page. But you know what? If that's what you want to do. You do it.
No,
I
no,
also
you
think
do
it's a bit
you. But
much to dress up like Jedi's and go to a Star Wars movie. But baby, if you want to do that, may the force be with you. I don't know.
we would do that.
And I'm not going to yuck your yum, but I'm also going nerd.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I mean,
Uh,
like I met my husband at Dragon Con. The nerd card has been stamped with a lifetime membership. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Yes,
Um,
this is so true. Pop
okay.
up what Boo said. So many people have their hyper fixations. Not one is better than others. Whatever strokes your
I
so
haven't heard
long
it
as
put
it's
that
legal
way
and
before.
doesn't
That's
hurt
funny.
ever others. And that's absolutely true. Whatever, like I'm a Swiftie, and if you don't like it, I don't care. You should
Yeah.
like Taylor though. She's really sweet. Okay.
As all of my kids, and this goes into being a creator, this goes into how you do your show. Do I want to censor myself on my own shows? No. I left the show that I built because I got into it with some co-hosts about where they felt like I should say something and not say something.
Right.
And yeah, it's not a thing. However, do I want to ruin somebody's experience on anything that again falls into what we've been caveating all night, legal, moral, ethical stuff? No, I don't need to understand your passion for Star Wars. To what's funny is it's not funny, but it's I grew up watching 4, 5, and 6, love Star Wars until the new movies came out, and I don't hate them. But it lessened my fandom, especially watching how some fans reacted. Obviously, not you
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Shane, but you know what? I saw you in your Jedi outfits. I can go that y'all put a lot of work into that. You have fun with that, and then after
We
10 minutes, you go and change because you're sweating to death in that.
and now I have a
Yeah.
bigger problem or a
Oh,
smaller problem.
the armor.
No, mine don't fit. My
Uh,
robes. Literally, the last time I wore them, my skirt almost fell off my body while I was walking. And
well, I would
I,
just like to say congratulations.
thanks.
Not what you thought I was going to say, but
I
yeah.
know. I'm really proud of you. Shane's already had his altered and fixed. Matter of fact, I can't believe he hasn't been on me about getting his stamp of approval for the Rebel Legion. but I've got to have mine redone too. So good times. And yes, we are still printing armor, though. I got to get him excited about the armor. My husband LARPed this past weekend.
Yeah, how'd that go?
He had a good time. He enjoyed himself. He did not come home damaged, which is always good. He did say that if I went and LARPed with him, we would get a hotel. I said, honey, I already knew that because they're in bunk dorm rooms at a state park. I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. When I made the joke about I just want to throw fireball dodgeballs at people, we when I was a paramedic near a state park, we got called out there one day for basically I think somebody overheated, and we got there and it was my partner's daughter was there and she was 18, 19, whatever, and so she came over and had already been helping out with this kid, and so that's the first time I'd ever seen LARPing. I'm like, oh, what? I was already familiar with Dragon Con and some other stuff. I was like, oh, what are y'all doing? And she told me, and then I saw somebody fling a dodgeball or rubber kickball, those red ones that make that sound that triggers my generation. And you either get excited about playing or you get traumatized by being hit.
One of the two.
Yeah, it's one of the
Yes.
two. And like, what are they doing? It's like, oh, that's magic. I'm like, okay, I want to come be a magician. I just want to wing fireballs at people and see what happens. And
I'm
it's
all for this.
there's all kind of other stuff with it, and to a point, going back to yucking somebody else's yum. The first time I went LARPing, even though I've never been officially LARPing, we called it paintball because we pretended we were military specialists shooting each other with paint in the woods as kids. So everything can be everything there.
Shane did also do paintball. So I think that was like the precursor to going, hey, LARP doesn't sound too strange.
Yeah, nice. It's
And
similar. Yeah.
and I used to do SCA, the Society of Creative Anachronisms, which is just it's a historical recreation for the Middle Ages.
Okay.
And so and they did have people that would fight with swords. The funniest part about all of this, I'm gonna show it online. Other people will not be able to see it on video.
Okay, that's a
But that
bunk
was
with a bag.
that's my husband's bunk.
Oh, he's a power bottom bunk.
Well, they didn't put anybody on the top bunks, but look at how small that thing is.
Yeah, and they put racks on the end. Your feet can't even stick off of that. What's wrong?
No. So it's smaller. It looks smaller than a twin bed, but supposedly it's a twin bed. It is about the width of a king size pillow, and my husband is 6'4"
Mm-hmm.
and used to play football, offensive line. He ain't ever going to fit on that thing.
Mm-mm.
I have no idea how. I think they wore him out so bad he slept.
And he probably had to stay curled all the time,
Yeah,
not
no, because he
natural.
could
But
not
yeah,
stretch out. Like,
no,
because if
I
he
could see
stretched
there's
out, he
like a
hit him.
bookcase kind of thing in there. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Um,
So there we go.
yeah. All right,
I don't.
creators.
Oh, what next?
Sometimes
What?
you have to bend yourself to fit into your show schedule, even though you don't fit it because you're too big, too tall for your show schedule. Um,
That's it.
but
Oh, I do. I
mhm.
do have. I have a kind of cool announcement.
Carry on.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to try to record Geek Meet Social this week.
Heck yeah.
So
That's
I made a
awesome.
decision that I want to be back behind the mic doing that show. I really love it. And I have a bunch of old interviews that I did that I haven't edited. And I'm just going to do some new content. And then once a month, throw in one of the old ones. And the new content is probably going to be just me, unless every now and then I'll have somebody else on so that I can edit it easily. Because I suck
Yeah.
at that. And the problem is, like, Charles has been so sweet and offered to edit them for me. But the problem is, I have to do almost that to get the intro and outro. I have to listen to them. So if I'm listening to them again,
Yeah.
I might as well. And that's kind of, and it kept stopping me. It was like the overwhelmness. Let's talk about being overwhelmed because I think
Sure.
that fits tonight.
Yeah.
Because that's really what happened with Geek Meet Social is I just got so overwhelmed with the idea of, oh, I got to listen to this episode. I got to edit it. I got to go back and record the intro. I got to figure out where my music is. I'm not sure. And then I got to stick that in. And I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah.
like, and it's like Boo said, it's like if you really enjoy it, like she talked about how she actually enjoys editing when it's not her own voice. But I don't. And so for me, it's like, And I don't feel like I can do the parts that I really love to do until I do the part that I hate to do, because if I don't do the part that I hate to do, then why am I doing? Anyway, Charles, it's like a
Hmm.
cat chasing its tail, taking a nap in the middle.
Yeah, writing a book. I started a book a long time ago and put in the actual writing work to do the first chapter. I didn't do layouts. I know where I want to go in my head, but just and I sent it to somebody that's a friend of mine to read it, and immediately he wanted to take it over, jump in on it, and it just killed it all. But I don't. When I think about now writing a book, like Bob has read my first one, which is a collection of blog posts, basically, and he's like, "Hey, there's why don't you write about your story? I mean, you have so many stories and so many things you've done in your life. Why don't you write about that?" I'm like, "Because it takes time. Because that's why." Uh,
Yeah.
I have a thing I want to do for Wise and Nerdy, and I'm like, well, okay, truthfully, it's like a role playing game that I discovered from my friend, and it was a very cool, different concept of how to do it, and I liked it. It's like, cool, we could do this for dad classes. Like it's all about raising your kids and managing your marriage, but it's gonna be fun with some jokes, and when I think about the real way to write it would be to sit down and come up with all the ideas, and I'd have to brainstorm with Joe and other people because and I'm thinking, oh my God, that is
Oh,
so much exciting work, but so much work.
so much work.
I'm gonna put that off. Even coming down to the music, when I first said I'm gonna get back into it, it was overwhelming to figure out how to connect things just on the computer itself and use the keyboard. But it was enough, and everything in life relates to drugs because our bodies are chemicals, and we react to dopamine hits and
Oh,
serotonin hits
yes.
and all those other hits, and caffeine hits and whatever. And it was just enough of whatever hit you want to say of actually like string. I have a little sample of stringing some things together using the QWERTY keyboard on my Mac, and it's not great. It's not anything that I'd probably revisit just to see the ideas I had in it, but it's not fantastic. But it was enough to go, okay, I will. I know that I'm going to dread putting in the work. But if I do little pieces, slowly but surely, of fixing something, taking a little lesson here,
Yeah.
looking at just what I've watched just on TikTok. I started following some people who make beats and whatever, and just watch a minute-long thing of their beat using some program I'll never use. But okay, just letting it feed in to where it got me happier about doing the work.
Right.
And now that doesn't apply to everything. I still probably would want a ghostwriter for any book that I wrote because I prefer to tell the stories and dictate it and get somebody to whatever ghostwriters do. They put it
Fix
down,
it.
help form it, fix it. Yeah. And actually, I wouldn't even want a ghostwriter because I don't want to take credit for somebody else's work. I want to be written by or how narrated by Charles McFall and written by whoever writes it down and
Whoever
fixes it.
fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Give them the credit they deserve. Um, so when you're talking about editing and doing all that, well, one, you're right. Same reason I keep putting off finding the stories. I have another episode ready to go. I need to put it
Right.
out. Um, and I took that. I'd already done some. Oh, see, I did the precursor work. That's what my therapist keeps telling me. It's the work that matters. You keep doing the work, and you'll be a better person for it. And I can see those patterns in my life of I already did the work to make a video for intro for this thing. So now I can put out video versions of finding the stories.
Oh,
And for whatever
good.
reason, it's sitting on my desktop. It's ready to go. I just haven't published it, haven't uploaded and published it. Don't know why. But part of it
So,
is go ahead.
so Charles, why haven't you posted? Let's dive into this, shall we? Why haven't you posted it yet?
I, s- I have this is my thoughts on it. I have a mental picture of how it worked before. So I started that show in the
Uh,
first hustle when I had so much time and the
yep.
world was a cheaper place to live. And I could hustle 35,000 a year, which isn't a lot of money, but it would pay my bills and I'd be okay. And now I have to hustle 50 to $60,000 a year to hit that same marker.
Yep.
So it's a bigger hustle. But it was there's just this life I wanted to live feeling to it of I'm a creator. I'm in my studio. What am I going to create today? And I worked on the music and I did this intro and then I just would schedule interviews with people and I just loved the whole process because it's what I envision my life being when I don't have to work on somebody else's schedule.
Right.
And then I did have to work on somebody else's schedule. So season one went out, and then season two hasn't come out. And well, technically, I've released one episode of season two after 5 year hiatus.
Hey,
And
I
the
feel your
reality
pain,
is,
sir.
so coming back to like Geek Me Social and Binding the Stories is both of those are our babies that, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
something holds us back. And it's there, the video, it's all ready to go. Why haven't I uploaded it? I think partially because maybe I feel like I'm betraying the vision of what I had. But the reality is, as a creator, if we try to go to what we think it should look like and not adjust to what you just said, Tyra, about,
Right.
hey, I think I'm going to do more of just me because it's easier to edit and easier to flow. And the reason I brought up Finding the Story is the same thing. I've tried to hand that off to a great friend of mine, Mike Woodard, who is really good at this stuff. But I'm like, well, if I'm already having to listen back to it because I have to listen to it to get my
Mm-hmm.
introductory points and my wrap up points, I might as well be doing it myself.
Please put what Boo said because this is so true.
Joy is a killer of perfection, I think is what she says here.
No.
Perfection is a killer of joy. Maybe I'm
Oh my
dyslexic.
gosh. Um, so you remember we've had this workshop. I'll put in the panel again next year because it was really good this year. Good enough is good enough.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's hard to get past some of the emotional attachments. It's not that I don't think
it
it's good
is.
enough. It's that first season just hit right for me because of how I did it and
Yeah,
how it
it was
connected.
very strong. I say
And
as somebody who was interviewed.
people, fans, I got fans from it. I got people listening to it, wanting more of it. And this is different. And I have difficulty with that. Not that I can't grow and change, but usually when I do something different, it just is a new show.
Right.
And that's not the case. I still want that. And I didn't even do this recording that I will get published as that. It very much was hey, let's have this talk about EMS with another guy in EMS. I put some of the videos out on TikTok and different things of clips of me talking to him. And I realized that I did up finding the stories with him. That's just, we just got to talking and we went kind of into different directions and I kept pulling him on points and different things. So it's a good question, Tyra. And honestly, I'm kind of at the point where I could use a manager, that's somebody that's, they would have multiple hats. It'd be, hey, I need this content because, we got to stay on the schedule, man. And then they're also going, the reason we got to stay on schedule is because I have a great SEO social media schedule made for you. And also, I like what you do, and you get too down on yourself, jackass. So give me some more material because it's easier for me to, hey, go figure. As a human, it's easier for me to please others
Yeah.
than to please myself.
No, it's true. I mean, the projects that I am the most successful with in completing are ones that I do collaborations with. Like if I'm collaborating with somebody, then I don't want to let them down. It's much easier, unfortunately, to let myself down. And
Yes, because you can forgive that. You can wave the hand at that. You can do something different with that.
yeah, well, I don't. I just get angry with myself a lot of times, but I'm
Yeah,
learning. I'm
sure.
learning. I'm getting older. This is the year of Tyra's and getting peace in her life. Gonna have a peace practice, um, which is why we have our candle because God knows I need peace when I'm with Charles. Um, that was joking. You didn't even react, Charles. You could have
I
reacted just a little at
I
my
was reading
joke
Earth Station Boo's trouble about her agreeing with our sentiments. Sorry.
about sometimes we nitpick, uh,
Yeah.
but that whole just admitting that what are the things that cause the blockages and try to figure out how to get past them. I look forward to the day when I can hire a personal assistant.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could do so much more. I need a maid and a personal assistant. Those are the two things I need for my life to be complete. I
And
have a husband. I have fur babies. I have a great house. I need a maid and a personal assistant.
I have a not the worst proposal out there. So the worst would be, hey, I need you to come work for me for free for, exposure or just because you want to donate your time. That's the worst proposal.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I've got the one up from that is I could use a personal assistant slash media manage, whatever, and I'll give you 40, 50% of the profits of whatever you help me make. But right now that is a zero. I'm not making any real money. I'm making tiny bits of money from Wise and Nerdy, but nothing else. Uh, I'm not getting any kind of payout on anything else right now. So if you could help me get money, we'll work out a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to figure that one out. Because as we said, we're all having to struggle and hustle more now in the economy that we've been dealt. Um, and that's not fun. I would like to not pay so much for eggs.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I've been noticing, like, I've been doing a little bit more eating out for lunch because I've been out more. And man, it's so expensive. Even when I go to Taco Bell, it's like $10, $12 for the meal. And I'm like, man, I used to pay $8 for a whole sack full of tacos. And now it's like $7.99 for that Lux box.
It's 100% true. I mean, it's sad. I mean, like,
Yeah.
thankfully I'm getting older and my appetite's shrinking, which is just weird. Um, I get, everybody I think knows I was really, really sick last October. And I mean, I got my appetite back, but I can't eat like I used to.
Well,
I'm
again,
not,
congratulations.
congratulations. I know. As a perimenopausal woman, it's awesome because otherwise this weight ain't going nowhere. So I had to go buy clothes for London.
That's a theme in most of the women in my life right now. There is an actual senior that I work with. I made her show me her license. Her name is Avery. I work with her in Metron. We've been working together for I don't know, over a decade now. And there was one point when it just came up because I was saying something about my mom or whatever, and she said something like, "No, my mom's way older than you." So, well, how old is she? And at the time, I was like 70 or whatever, and she's like, "No, I'm like 72." I'm like, "No, you're." I wouldn't mean like flirtation, you making her feel better. I was like, "No, you're not."
Right.
And I'm like, "Okay, I never did. Show me your." And she showed me her license. Like, was this what it looks like to positive life? Because you absolutely are nowhere near. And then the other day I come and I said, "Man, your clothes are looking good." I'm not going to say you. It makes you look slim, and I don't think you looked heavy before. And apparently she is also losing some weight, and loving it. And I'm like, you go, girls. I need to catch up. I would like to do that, but yeah,
I would
nitpicking. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, nitpicking is not. I could
It's not always
perfection myself.
conscious. It's not always conscious. You enjoy doing Geek Meet Social. You can hear it in your voice on the
I
recordings.
do. I love
You
it.
like it. You don't really hate editing. It's just not your passion. And since you don't feel competent at it, you feel bad about it. Man, it's all
Yes.
feelings, right? It's all feelings there. But I
Well,
get
no,
that.
no,
I get
no.
that.
Well, I had an
Because you
episode
are
go out.
competent.
I'm competent enough, but I had to go back and re-edit an episode because there were some issues with the sound, and I think that kind of I'm really bad about things crushing my soul. Like when I like feel like everything
Sure.
is good, and then I find out, oh, okay, so people are having issues with that. I have to redo it. Blah yada yada yada, and so that stops me. And that's why I've been very like my cozy fantasy. Nobody has read yet. I'm gonna let Shane read what I've written with a lot of caveats, so our marriage stays intact. Uh, but um, I am a really gentle, sensitive soul, is what, and I knew this, but I'm super gentle, and I have to be very careful about who I let into my safe space to talk about my creative endeavors.
Would you believe I'm the same way?
No.
I get that. Nobody believe that because I believe in immersion therapy because I know no other way than to run straight into the storm. But I
Right.
never, wise and nerdy might have been where I talked about it. But we're talking about a fan there had said they follow the stuff I do and everything else, and they're like, hey, they celebrated me getting back on the drums and that. It's like we need to see some TikToks of Rock God on the drums. I'm like, and I told the story. I won't go into the long version of being raised with my dad being a preacher from a young age. Everything was show ready. Everything was show ready,
Gotcha.
and we practice stuff. Without going to all of it. So I have a very hard time just putting it out there. But with podcasting, I knew that I would never go anywhere if I let that sensitivity affect me.
Very true.
Because fortunately, my wife being who she is, and unintentionally, she broke my soul a few times when I was doing music, uh, and that's what I needed, but also not what I needed.
Yep.
But it's like it was just immersion. It was just like I am going to pretend. I'm going to push everything out there and pretend like it doesn't matter. And ultimately, it became my brand, right, of messing things up, of not doing it. But it also got me the practice to just do things now. And I'm not recommending that to everybody. You have to pick your own path.
Yeah.
But finding those people you trust to help you, you Shane, I would offer, because I can be gentle, but I don't have time to read. I don't make time to
Oh.
read
And you
anything
don't
right
read
now.
cozy fantasy. Well, neither does my husband, but he does like
Right.
fantasy.
Right.
So he's at
And so
least
my
half his step
input would just
there.
be more like you there. But you do have some people that you're building trust with that you could put that out there, and then expect them to shatter your soul,
Yes.
and then expect them to pick you back up. And that's just not what I did. Like I said, I ran screaming publicly into the storm. But that's a little bit of that. Oh, okay, it's better. It's getting better. It's when you go do a workout for the first time, it's rough. When you learn an instrument like guitar, it hurts. When you wrote the first thing you ever wrote, Tyra, if you looked at it now, it
Oh, not.
there you go. That's
Yeah.
what
But
but
fun.
you
It was
got
still fun.
better because you
Yeah, I
got
know.
stronger. Because as many times as I've done, I mean, over 20 years, digital media, launched a ton of shows. First two, three episodes, sometimes more, are complete crap. I mean,
Oh,
they just
yeah.
are. And because you got to figure it out every time. But my crap now is
It's better
way
than your
better
crap
than the crap then.
before.
Exactly. Exactly. Because the show must go on. Because I spent 1 year not doing any of this. No music, no nothing. And my wife was ready to strangle me by the end of that year. I
I
have
can
to
imagine.
create. That's what I do. Um, to the
Well,
point
and
that she even mentioned the other day, she's like, hey, I haven't seen a caffeination in a while. I was like, yeah, I just haven't really felt like it in a while. But, I did one today. It went out today.
yes, I saw it. I did not. I couldn't listen to it because I was starting class. But I was like, "Oh, Charles posted something," but I can't listen. Um, can I talk to you for just a second about my classroom experience for the day?
Absolutely.
So, most of my classes for the business college are always in the same building. I've never had a class not in that building. I've been teaching there for 22 years. All my classes have been in that building for the business college. I am the only faculty member in my department that is teaching in what is called the social science building, all the way on the other side of campus
Okay.
in a building that looks like you remember how you had chairs in high school?
Uh huh.
Yeah, that's what my room looks like now. And my students and I are all like, why are we having to cross the tundra to be here?
Yeah.
That's my. So they're like old school desk where the chair is connected to the table
Yeah.
and they're multi it's not fun is what we're going to say. But I had some show up today, so I was very excited about that, but yeah, I have to figure out where to park the car. Do I want to walk all the way across campus at night or do I want to walk all the way across the campus and back? It's joyful, Charles. It's just joyful.
It sounds joyful.
Yes. Oh God, that is a scene for a horror movie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And all the chairs are blue, orange, and one other color. And then there's one purple chair. And I'm like, where did the purple chair come from?
Well, when a blue chair falls in love with an orange chair, they get married and they have babies.
And it's not purple.
Well,
It's
we
blue
didn't
and
do a
red.
DNA test. We
Blue
didn't
and
get that
red.
far into love, okay?
We love him, but he does not know the color will.
Yeah.
Um, So and Earth Station Boo, I saw what you said. I will reach out to her. But yes, now I'm gonna walk in there and I'm gonna hear like Friday the 13th in my background when I see this room.
No, I hear you.
After I found it on the third floor, down two hallways, tucked into a corner.
The only thing that is constant in life is change.
Oh, yeah,
And
no.
change is the worst thing that most of us don't want to deal with. You know, I say most of us, I
Yeah.
tend to like a lot of change, but even there's a certain point where I'm like, this is enough surfing the chaos for right now. I
Yeah,
have stopped
no.
enjoying the ride. I'd like to bring it down a little bit so I can re enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Well, I will say this: it was fine today. Today was a beautiful day, but when it is freezing cold or it's raining, I'm going to be thinking unkind thoughts about the person who scheduled me into this building.
that is that is entirely fair. Last Friday, I told you a little bit about it Sunday, but last Friday I kind of had a bad day. I got a text from, and that's the other thing as a creator. So many things can influence
Oh
us,
my God,
and the
yes.
show must go on. You've got to block some of it out for what you do. But I did let it affect caffeinations. I've been busy. I've been tired. I've been at my limit for a little while now. And Friday, I got a text that I should have known was coming, but whatever. And it tipped me into a negative mindset. And then it was overcast all day in Atlanta. The rain was coming, so it was
Oh yeah.
warm-ish and humid. So everything I did made me drip sweat, which I hate.
Ugh.
And we have to wear those gloves. Normally the gloves aren't bad, but I'm talking about when I would take them off on that day, flinging sweat off my hands. It's so gross. It feels like crap.
Oh,
Then, now I
thanks
did
for
bring my
that.
raincoat, but then it started raining, and I hate that even more. But I actually did not think negative thoughts about the situation because I was still grateful that I, being the person that chose to do this, I still go, hey, this lets me know exactly why I'm happy not to go get a regular job on an ambulance where I have to fit someone else's schedule because I'd be
Right.
miserable because I'm done. And to be able to work with somebody who respects me, who pay and she pays me more than I could get on a regular job right now.
Yeah.
And at any point in time, I get to say, I can't do this now. Enough's enough. And that I'm grateful for it. It keeps me going. But by God, when it's 7:30 at night and it feels like 11:30 at night, trying to change
Oh,
sucks.
doesn't it? We were talking about that the other
Yeah.
day. We are like, it's got to be like 9:30, and we're like, it's 6:30.
Right. Yeah, and that's not even an age thing. It's funny. There's a creator I follow that she's like, the worst thing about getting into your mid 40s is when you realize that 11 p.m. is really 7:30 p.m. and it's not time to go to bed yet.
Yes.
But it is different when the sun's going down at 5 and you've been working all day. And I really hate, now this is not the case in my life right now, typically, but I really hate when I start working before the sun comes up and I'm
Oh
still
yeah.
working when the sun goes down. It's just a mental thing.
Yeah.
Right
No,
now, that
that's
is not
bad.
that big of a window. It's like 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right? It's not a
Right.
huge window, but it's still enough of a window that it borks my brain. And I
Yeah.
hate it.
No, and I'm like, I used to make fun of people who went to bed before 11.
I don't make fun of them. I used to make fun of my friend for getting up before God did because God is light and he got up before the sun did and I give
Oh,
him
that's not
grief
good.
on that. Yeah, now, he was a churchy and all this. I give him grief about all the time. But then I got a job where I had to go do things before the sun came up, and I still would much rather stay up till midnight and get up at 10 a.m. or
Me
1
too.
p.m. or whatever because that's the life I like to create in. But that's not the life that's making me the money right now, and that's okay because flow happens. And if you don't flow, in the medical world, we have devices that'll breathe for you. And there's this thing called a PEEP valve. It's about pressure and this and that. But it's just a pop off so that too much pressure doesn't build up in your lungs.
That's
I've
good.
learned you have to have that in your life because there would have been a point in my life where the point I reached tonight of realization, like, I'm tired. I still want to be on this show. I still want to go see Tyra and talk about things, but
We still
I'm
like each
at
other.
my limit. Right, but I'm at my pressure limit, and it's like I would have quit. I would have been saying, "Hey, Tyra, we need to talk about. I can't do the show anymore. We need to talk about this and that and the other." I'm just, and you would have understood, but it'd been hard. But that was where I was before. Now I've realized, like, hey, I can pop off some of the pressure. I can go,
Yeah.
hey, this day's coming up where I'm just gonna mess around with my video games, and trust me, I work my games just like I work everything else. I have my phone up with, how do I find this? Oh, how do I maximize this weapon? And I'm I can't fucking relax, but it's fun for me, so I do it
As
that
long
way.
as you're having a good
I am.
time.
I'm having a blast, and it actually is. I get in the recliner. I'm moving my Xbox back to the living room, getting my recliner on my big screen, and do that. And it's rare. I mean, it's not rare. It's once a month, maybe. So like I said, it's kind of rare,
It's
but
good.
you still have it to look forward to, and then you have to make the choices in your life, and that's the last thing. Well, and of course, I'll let you say something, Tyra. But the last point I want to make for tonight is something I realized about a project I did in my past was I'd chosen a certain path. And when I obviously reached the end of that path, instead of choosing the second path and willfully going through what I went through, I flowed. And sometimes the flow will catch you, right? You've got to control your surfboard on that chaos, right? You're going where the waves takes you,
Right.
but sometimes you got to bail out of the waves. Sometimes I'm not a surfer, so I'm just playing, the video
He's
game in my
faking
head
it
from the
right
80s,
now.
right? The videos I've watched, but there's, sometimes you cut in, sometimes you do this, but you see the movements of surfers, and then they go back out, right? Choices matter when you're on that board, and the reason I'm using that surf one is because Air Station Boo really did come up with that great phrase, "Surf the chaos, enjoy the ride," because that's really what you can do as a creator. But the choices you make matter, and I realized part of my I can't say it without doing the meme. Emotional damage is that I let life choose me instead of making active choices along the way. Probably still would have taken some of the same path, but less damage because I would have been looking for the hazards along the way to navigate it. If you don't make those choices, you will find yourself quitting a show. You'll find yourself going on hiatus and not coming back. You'll find yourself frustrated with the process and not wanting to move something forward, not knowing what you're missing in life. Choose you, and that affects your mental health, that affects everything. But as I started this show with, I started within reason, because I talked to my wife about it. This and I'm not going to spend just a ton of money randomly, but the money I've chosen to spend is choosing me, and it is bringing so much joy, not just to me, but I can share some of this with my family, and it's making life better. The choices are what matter. So, Miss Burton.
I would say the best choice you can make is to choose you. And so I think that's the biggest thing I'm doing this year, like, is really coming up with areas of my life that I want to focus on. And peace and happiness and joy are part of that, and prosperity and expression. So those are kind of like happiness, peace, prosperity, and expression are my four kind of idealistic things that I'm shooting for. And I really think that the thing that for me that is starting to kind of alter how I'm looking at this year and how I'm looking at things going forward is that I have to take care of me. And really that started with the whole thing of when I got so sick. Um, and made me realize that I had really run myself as much as I could. And I've spent my entire life doing that.
Yeah.
And I love the life I've had. I've visited so many places, I've done so many things, but I really want to start living more intentionally and being more selective about the experiences and having them be more, not grandiose, but bigger and more reflective and more caught into things. And so that's why I'm looking forward to going to London. Um, I'm looking forward to this semester. I'm looking forward to writing. I'm looking forward to Geek Meets Social. But yet, when I look at it, I'm like, okay, Tyra, you only have so much time. We don't want to end up back where we were. What are we doing to make sure we don't? What do we do to make sure we don't get overwhelmed? And so I'm really trying to be intentional with the choices I make. So choose you, be intentional, set your guiding light, and the light is actually what gets you through the chaos. And because it's the thing that you hone in on. And I know that at the end of the day, uh, the singular most important thing to me is my husband, and everything else after that falls to the wayside. Um, and building that relationship and making sure that relationship is nurtured and doing more of that and being more intentional in that. So yeah, choose you, be intentional, find your guiding light. It might be a 6'4" former football player.
And it might be a run for the border. Thanks to Taco Bell, who sponsors this show one day, hopefully. I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners who doesn't listen live. So thank you for letting me know you listen, because that definitely helps as a creator to find those pressure points. Because sometimes it is leaving a show. Brian Ibbett had pressure points a long time ago. Ended up leaving. We did 2 shows together. He ended up leaving the second show because of pressure points, because that's where it was. But it helps to know things out there. And Brad the Blind is a longtime friend of mine. Didn't know he actually listened to the show, because I recommended it
hi,
to
Brad.
him. But he texted me. I'll just read it. It is so hilarious how he revealed he was not only listening, but he liked what was going on. Where are
Hi,
you,
Brad.
Okay. He said, and actually last time he texted me was December 3rd. So it's been a while. Listening to the new Be Awesome together. Did you just mash up Overcooked and Jesus Crossing the Sea of Galilee? I love that, LOL. And I'm like, I mean, maybe. I think the game was actually Cooking Dash, but yeah, I brought the Sea of Galilee into. So thanks for that note, and share it with other creators. Share it
Yes.
with if you're getting anything out of this, the best thing you could do is share a clip with a friend or send the link. Most podcast players let you share it, and then you can text it to somebody or email it to somebody.
That's true.
Post it on your socials, and that would help us a lot. It's not going to solve the tired energy part that we have, and we do
But we're
have to
getting
kind of
there.
ramp back a little bit on
We
how
gotta,
we do the show.
we
but
have to get a schedule. We don't have a schedule
Yes.
yet, but we're gonna get a schedule
We're going to get a schedule,
because
and
that
will
helps
definitely
us. We having a you see when we had some plans, it really helped.
help. Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna.
Well, we've
we're
also
gonna
been
go back.
putting off business meetings for 6 months now.
It's true, Charles.
And that's
Get
a
on
capital
that.
W. We
Hey,
have definitely been putting it off.
You're gonna be up here on the 27th. Just saying.
That's right, because I'm going to come lecture, and then we're going to do the show live.
Yeah, which is actually
So
in
we
2
can talk.
weeks.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure somebody. I look at my calendar day by day. I know you're right.
I
know
no,
you're
I
right.
know it's right because I told my students today. So don't make me a liar,
You
Charles.
warned them, or you told them?
I told them. I have not warned them, though. You should have, because Bob Magoo will be coming to speak as well, or coming through the virtualness,
Yeah.
and I said yes, and he writes books about a redneck wizard with a crippling meth addiction, and you should have seen their faces.
Excited or horrified?
Uh,
Yeah,
they were
little
shocked.
both. Yeah.
Little both. I did follow up with, he's one of the best people I know. He's got his own charity, blah, 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 blah. He's
Well, as I like to do, I like to throw a slightly off color joke to upset Tyra as we end the show.
Oh, we
So-
know he loves to do this. Hi, Devo Site.
Is that Devo? So I when I come to your next class, I'm going to introduce myself as a top 1% OnlyFans creator. Thanks everybody for coming. Tyra's face says everything. I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to see your face.
It's because you're not a top one. You.
Oh, that's why. It's because I'm not a top creator. We'll get back to it.
We'll be there. Bye. Why do I agree to this? Take my mug and go home. Oh, wait.